Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video battling another two events from the Simpsons Tapped Out. So today we are going to be versing the Simpsons babies against Treehouse of Horror XXV. So we're going to start with the earlier event. So we're going to start with Treehouse of Horror XXV. So obviously, as we've always kind of established, we've always established the rating system, which is at start we obviously look at theme and structure, then we look at characters, then we look at buildings, then we have a look at decorations, and then the last kind of bonus point is on my overall reflection of said update. So let's start off with Treehouse of Horror XXV, and this is the Treehouse of Horror from 2014. So let's review the theme and structure. So of course, the theme is Halloween. It's an annual Halloween event. I think, obviously, it's kind of overdone theme, if you will. To a degree, I mean, I think I like the annual events. I would never want them to go, but yeah, I think in recent years, a few of them haven't been great just because of how overdone it is and how this, we've got loads of the content from the show in the game already. But this one was quite an early one. This was 2014. It was the third Halloween event, so you'd expect it to be still quite a lot of stuff. Now, obviously the theme was mainly based around this kind of Rigelian invasion. There was also the little treat bags as well that you had with the different with the kids. Obviously you also had the trick-or-treat costumes, so all the kids kind of had these little trick-or-treat costumes, which is really, really cool to see. And then the characters could be attacked by Rigelians as well. You had to tap the characters to get the Rigelians off. Some really, really cool features. Obviously, crafting was there in this update to a degree. It's not like exactly the same as crafting was anyway back in the day, but there was crafting in this update, of course. Yeah, and then obviously we just had the basic prize track, 3-act prize track for this event as well. So I think overall this update was fairly decent. There's definitely some really cool structures in there. I think there was the Mog episode tie-in, although I'll probably consider that separate. But yeah, there was some cool there was some cool features in this event. A really decent, decent theme. Halloween is always a decent theme, I guess. So yeah, overall, I think pretty decent. Anyway, moving on. We'll move on to Simpsons Babies. Of course, Simpsons Babies is a multi-event. So we obviously it's a multi-event, so it's 4 mini events repeated basically, yeah. It's a mini event repeated 4 times. So the theme, of course, was younger versions of the Simpsons family as well as Springfielders. Babies basically was the theme. Now, I think this update the theme's okay. I like the idea, but it just didn't feel great. The update as a whole was very disappointing in that respect. So, I mean, there's not really much point even discussing it because it's just basic 4-act structure. We know what it is. So I think, sorry, I'm rushing this point, but the point is going to go to Treehouse of Horror. Just because, I mean, we all remember Simpsons Babies. I think the theme is decent, don't get me wrong. It's not a terrible theme. It's just, there wasn't anything special that the update gave us, and the theme it was okay, but it wasn't executed well. So I think that's why I'm giving the point to Treehouse of Horror. Anyway, moving on to characters. So, to start it off, we've got the Halloween. Now, bear with me, because the wiki's really weirdly listed in terms of characters. So we got the Space Mutant, the Bulldozer Saw, Hugo, the Mutant Peacock, and then as a costume we got UBO. That was the only characters I believe we got. The rest was returning stuff, so it wasn't that many characters. Although this event was definitely really cool in terms of structure and theme, the characters was not that great. Space Mutant, I would say, is an character personally. Bulldozosaurus is an NPC. It's a cool NPC, but obviously it's an NPC. Mutant Peacock is also an NPC. Hugo is definitely a really, really cool character. I'm glad we got him. And UBO is a really, really awesome costume. So I would say two really good things. I would say the Bulldozersaurus and the Mutant Peacock are two decent NPCs, but they're NPCs, so they're kind of like on the same level as decorations, if you know what I mean. And the Space Mutant, I would say, is meh. So, there you go. But then we obviously have Simpsons babies, and you got Baby Homer, Baby Marge, Baby Lisa, Baby Bart, Baby Frink, Young Burns, Teenage Smithers, Llewellyn Sinclair, Baby Mo, and Baby Barney. Now, I don't particularly like the baby characters that much, but Llewellyn, I think, was a decent character, and I think I do like... I like the idea of having the younger versions of The Simpsons. I certainly like to have them. I'm just so kind of undecisive when it comes to whether they should be unique characters or whether they should be skins, and I still don't really know. Like, I'm still kind of like on the fence with this issue. But regardless, I think if they were characters or costumes, if they were costumes anyway, which I probably would be more happy with, I definitely would be really happy with all of these costumes, at least for the most part. A few of them I'm not a massive fan of. Not a massive fan of Baby Frank, for example. Or Baby Mo and Barney were just didn't feel like as relevant, because the thing is, we've seen Baby Homer and Baby Marge and Baby Lisa and Baby Bart in multiple episodes, so they feel necessary to add. Whereas the rest, some of the others just didn't feel. And Young Burns as well, actually. We've seen Young Burns quite a few times too. But so, in terms of characters, just for quantity, I have to give it to Simpsons Babies. So that gets the point for that. So moving on to buildings. So starting off with Halloween, the Halloween event from 2014. We got a fair amount of buildings, not loads, but a fair amount. So to start it off, we obviously got the Spooky House. Sorry, I was looking at the returning buildings then. The Spooky House. We got Make-A-Thing Workshop, which obviously was the thing that was used for crafting. The Drive-In Theatre, which came with the Space Mutant. The Portal to Rigel 7. And the Regilian Tribal Hut. Those were the only buildings we got. And not amazing, really, is it? So, like, the Spooky House is okay. I would say that's a good one. The Make-A-Thing Workshop, I'm not a massive fan of, just because it looks kind of dumb. The Drive-In Theatre is good. The Portal to Rigel 7 honestly should be a decoration. And the Regilian Tribal Hut is good as well. So, I would say 3 good buildings, 2, 1 bad building, because it shouldn't be a building, and 1, I would say the Make-A-Thing Workshop is a meh building. So, there you go for Treehouse of Horror, that's it. Moving on to Simpsons Babies. So, we've got a lot. Captain Dodgems, Bumper Cars, Springfield Destruction Derby Ground, the Doughy Dozen Bagels, Springfield Gymnady, Photo Hut, Le Petit Appetit, Lower East Side Homes, Simpson and Grandson Bike Customizing, Kids Zone Elite, Frank's House, Colonel Burns Mansion, Malibu Stacy Fan Club, and Springfield Community Theatre. I mean, I don't even need to go through all the buildings individually to make the point that the event that had the better buildings is obviously Simpsons Babies. So that gets the point for buildings. Now, I want to say that, I will die on this hill. So the Simpsons Babies is a really good event when it comes to buildings. Buildings are superb in this event. They are really well done. There's some amazing buildings, some bright and vibrant buildings in this event, and I think by far this it just easily takes this point. There's no debate about it, in my opinion. Moving on to decorations. So with the Treehouse of Horror 2014, we have the Grand Pumpkin. Is a really cool decoration, actually. The Human Test Subject, which is okay, pretty good. The Rigelian Shrub, which I actually quite like a lot. The Donut Torture Device, which is pretty cool. The Hovercopter, another really cool decoration. The Teleporters Alpha and Omega. Those are really awesome. I love the teleporters. I know these were extra ones, I think, were they? Or I think they were the first ones, actually. Anyway, the Tentacle Tree, which is pretty decent. The Diet Sign, yeah, that's okay. The Rigelian Queen, I actually kind of dislike, because I don't understand why they couldn't just give us the Rigelian Queen as a character, and then have a decoration where she sits on this thing. So I'm like, on that decoration. I'm not a massive fan of it. And then the Ghost Pirate Airship, which is a 250 donuts. Very pricey, ridiculously overpriced for sure. But I mean, it's a decent decoration. Don't get me wrong, but it was way overpriced. So yeah, moving on. Also, I forgot to mention, just briefly, my man Snowball 1, or my girl Snowball 1, was also added, which is another reason as to why Simpsons Babies has the better characters. I mean, Snowball 1 just wins the fight, I'm sorry. But anyway, moving on. In terms of decorations in the Simpsons Babies, well, we got the Bleeding Gums Cloud, which is a decent decoration. Moe's Express Lemonade, which is a repeat of the Moe's Express decoration that we got in the Bart Royale event. And that's it. So, obviously, I am going to give the point to Treehouse of Horror. This has been such a weird battle because like Treehouse of Horror has a lack of buildings, but then Simpsons Babies has a lack of decorations. So, final point, which is difficult because it's entirely based on kind of arbitrary my opinion, and this is what's going to decide who wins. Now, I think both these events have decent things in them for sure. I think Simpsons Babies, although the characters aren't great, it's cool to get to see the kind of different Simpsons Babies versions of them. Snowball 1 as well is also amazing. But Treehouse of Horror, it's got its flaws. I mean, I remember it being quite tedious, a lot of the crafting as well. Obviously, it's quite a while ago, so I do remember it being fairly tedious. Some of the crafting, some of the stuff, some getting some of the prizes. But the event that I look back at more fondly, and this I might get a lot of backlash for this. But the event that I look back at more fondly, purely for its buildings, is Simpsons Babies. I'm gonna get killed for this, but Simpsons Babies, I think in terms of their buildings elevate what. But I mean, like, think about it. What did Treehouse of Horror give us in terms of characters? For a start, we got Hugo, yeah, really cool character. And we got UBO. Yeah, really cool building. Really cool costume. Two cool things. I mean, then we got some NPCs, and we got the Space Mutant. He's a meh character. So we got two decent characters and one decent character and one decent skin. Cool. But then, like Simpsons Babies, we've got, yeah, not amazing characters, but an abundance of them. So there's loads of the younger characters, plus Snowball 1. Snowball 1 blows both the NPCs we got in Treehouse of Horror out of the park. But then when it comes to buildings, the buildings that we got in the Treehouse of Horror weren't that great. I mean, we didn't get that very many of them. Whereas Simpsons Babies has such a massive abundance of buildings that I just think it blows a lot of updates out of the park in terms of buildings. And I don't think that necessarily characters and theme is always... they are important factors in an update, but it doesn't always mean that there's updates... Basically, what I'm trying to say is, there's updates in the past where it's had a really terrible theme, but it's added really, really cool stuff. And loads of people go, yeah, that's a really great update. And then you have updates that have... good themes, for example the magic update, but a lot of the content's not great, so there needs to be like a good balance. But I think with Simpsons Babies, there's like a theme which is like, there's something there, but it's not all there. But the one thing that they definitely have, they compensate very well for, is the buildings. And I honestly think the buildings I got from Simpsons Babies were way more worth than Hugo or the UBO. And don't get me wrong, I love UBO. He's one of my favorite costumes, and I feel kind of sad that I'm having to kill the event that added it. But yeah, crazy. I know I don't like the Simpsons Babies update that much. Do not get me wrong, but the one thing it's amazing for is buildings, and for that reason, it goes through the next round. And it's gonna be versing Christmas 2013 in round 2. So that is it. Please do not kill me. If you're going to continue to watch this series, you must know that there is going to be some decisions you do not like. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just for fun. These are all just my opinions. If you disagree, that's completely fine, obviously. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. We'll be doing Secret Agents versus Whacking Day 2013. So yeah, stay tuned for that one sometime next week. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.